let's jam.
And what's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Boom.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Welcome back, goddammit, to another edition of Tell Me a Joke. The guy that's chasing the dream. I'm your host, the Maniacal Menace. Kyle Smith said the whole thing like a pimp named Slickback, who slaughtered me in the roast battle.
I did not slaughter you. I was kind and
the
gentle.
The audience begged to differ, and you didn't write any of that shit.
I didn't.
So that's what is even more crushing. Ashley Branch.
What's good?
What up, Ashley? Good to see you.
I miss you.
Oh, I miss you too. I'm glad I get to finally, because like every time I come down here, you're gone doing things, fucking being a comic and being on the road and being in other places.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did I fuck up? Did I leave
No,
too early?
no. Last time I was I went on a trip.
Yeah.
I went on a trip. I went to the islands.
Okay. Oh, so that was just with you and your husband?
No.
No?
I went
was
with.
that a comedy thing?
Yeah. We didn't do comedy shit.
Yeah.
It was comedy people. It was Rochelle and TK and Nita and me.
Oh.
And weed. Lots of weed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what me and Kamara and the gang are trying to put things together, depending on if Gigi and fucking Paul and DC and all them won't come through.
That's gonna be nice.
We gonna try to get it together.
You should make a docu-series or something.
That's what we gonna do. You know, I'm gonna fucking film everything.
Oh,
I'm definitely, I was looking at, I was going to Best Buy to see what type of cameras, what type of cheap cameras I could get.
See, this is why we brothers and sisters.
Trying to upsell me.
This is why we brothers and sisters, because we was on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
See, I ain't know you was gonna document that, but I'm glad you are.
Oh, definitely. Like that's what I used to do in the beginning when I was fresh into comedy. It's like, I'm gonna record everything, and then it's like now I have all this footage of just old shit, which is good, but it's like, what you was gonna do with that, nigga? I was like,
You could put together a bio. Like a biographical docu-series.
Yeah, then that's work for me. I prefer to just give that to somebody else now. I prefer to just, here, you edit this. Like, we did this. I recorded all this. Shots are shitty, but, edit all this together. And because, man, doing everything by yourself, it's never fun. It's always like y'all are killing it with the group and together, the togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're killing it. It shows. Like I'm trying to put things together, and it just feels like it falls below the wayside.
No man is an island. I don't know. I just say something deep and thought-provoking. You gotta eat shit sometimes.
I've been eating so much shit.
Well, eat the shit. Let me tell you why. Put a little slappy mama on there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. Eating shit is good. And when I mean eat shit, I mean metaphorically, people. Nobody's just like, eating ass and that little extra piece of shit that come out. Chef's kiss.
Take that in there.
Num num nums. No.
Little pepper. Little flavor. That's it.
We don't need to be in the same space. No. Absolutely not.
Can't wait to.
This is against the rules of physics.
And then we got all green room together. It's gonna be wild. All of us, that New Orleans crew that makes it. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so the reason why I think it's good to eat shit sometimes is because I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I think a slick side had been diagnosed with ADHD because I was trying to get one of my kids diagnosed, and the doctor was like, it's hereditary, and I was like. I was like, what?
So you say for me?
I was like, oh, okay, we'll talk to my husband about that. She was like, no, you.
Not Friday.
Not Friday. No, you. Anyway, I think it's like mentally for me, if I am on a roll and I have not eaten shit, I'm going to have this anxiety that I'm going to eat shit at the wrong time.
At some point in time, I will stumble in that pothole that I don't see.
So when you eat enough shit, it was like when I ate all this shit, and then you get a win. The win is like a win.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah.
And then like you probably won't eat shit for a while.
Yeah.
It's like playing sports. Like I play basketball, right? I know you shocked.
Right, no.
But like we would be like on this winning streak, and I'm like, all right,
At some point,
some point in time, some shit gonna go down, and then we gonna eat shit.
Yeah.
And what we do? We go play Duke. And we ate a lot of shit. So I mean, it's an ego check.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. You have an ego, and if you're a comedian, you got a big ego.
Oh yeah.
Like I have a big ego. I feel like I'm smart
Uh-huh.
because I am.
Yeah.
But when I get on stage, sometimes the words don't come out.
I've been shoved back just down to square one. It's dealing with this shit the past it has just been a wake up call, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? I everything got hazy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know which direction to take.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not really sure what's going on or if this is my thing.
Right.
Like, I got to the point where I was like, nigga, should you quit? Like, I mean, you're doing okay.
I mean, but that's what comedy is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what comedian don't quit like once a week.
Yeah.
Cause I was gonna quit last night. I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm not doing this shit. This is ridiculous. Can't look different. I already look different. You can't be different.
See what happened with
The one and only.
brighten up
my sister, Roslyn. How's it
Hi.
going there, Roslyn?
It's going.
It's going.
It's so dry. This is terrible.
It's good. That's a good way to start. Basically we just shoot the shit about dream chasing or what it takes to accomplish your goals in life. Okay. And from me growing up, I've always known you've been good with numbers. Your thing has always been numbers. You know?
And I don't even know how that happened. I think somebody told me I was good with numbers and I went with it.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
What did you, since you were littler, what did you always want to do?
Went into college and I was gonna do pre-med actually.
Oh.
And then it was the option to choose whether do you do what you want to try or do you do what you're good at? And I chose the easy route. I just do what I'm good at. And that was numbers. And here we are. I'm a true believer that you don't like fight the universe. You just kind of like go with it and things just fall as they may. And that's basically what happened. Here he goes. And I think I've always lived my life like that. Like I don't really fight the universe. It's just kind of like, okay, that's not working out. Maybe that's not how it's supposed to be. So I did finish school.
About today. You'd say right.
I finished school. It took me a little bit longer, but it's done. The one thing that wasn't planned that I would be pregnant. Huh. So I so that was not expected, and then everything after that for a few years was a little bit wonky because graduation day came. I was still pregnant. So I went to graduation. Didn't know I was in labor, but I was.
Whoa.
And I left graduation, and I was like, yeah. And then I went to the hospital and had a baby all in the same day.
Whoa. So you had a graduation baby.
I did.
Wow.
That's how the day went. And then
I don't know if I knew this.
Really?
Was I there?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, we have as a matter of fact, it's on one of these walls.
Holy.
Maybe not in here. There's a picture of us at my graduation. No, it's not in here. And I remember waking up that morning. I was like, because I didn't want to buy anything to wear because I just felt like I wasn't going to be pregnant, but I was. So I went to the mall and found a dress and went. And I really thought I had eaten Taco Bell the day before, so I thought it was Taco Bell. And I went to graduation and we went out to eat.
Thought it was Taco Bell.
Well, I didn't know. That's why you don't have kids when you're young because you don't know nothing. I was stupid. But we went out to eat after graduation. I definitely was like having a conversation and would just like put my head down because it hurt so bad. And then I went home and I went and sat in the tub and I was like, all right, it'll go away. And I remember calling Claude and he was just like, you should probably go. And I'm like, I'm not going. They're going to send me home. And it was right around midnight that night. My friends were like, no, we're going to take you in. And I went in and I was like 6 centimeters. And the people were like, oh my God. Like, it was like, what? And then next thing you know, 2 hours later, I had a kid. So at that point, I was just like, oh no, now what do I do? And I told our parents, I'm like, listen, I can't be under y'all roof. I got a whole kid now. Like, it's not your job. But again, I had just graduated from school. I was only working at Foot Locker.
Huh.
I don't know how I was supposed to take care of this kid. So I moved to Texas the first time because he was in Texas. And that was different because he was just getting into management, just making money, and now he's taking care of himself plus me plus a baby.
Boom.
That was a lot. And then I stayed home for like a year and a half with her, and then I kind of like worked at Foot Locker when I could, and then we moved to Lake Charles, and then I decided I should probably get a job. What did I do first? I think I worked at the hotel overnight.
Whoa.
Yeah, but it was at the casino, so it was cool.
Huh.
And then I moved into like their offices, so I had a day job. And then we moved to Lafayette. And then I went back to not having a job. Started working at Foot Locker again. So now my kid is probably like 3. She might have been 3. So I've been out of school for 3 years, and I haven't had like a real job. And I did that for a while, and then Katrina happened. And then my mom called one day and she's like, hey, my job, they're looking for people. Do you want to move to Texas? And I think we had discussions about moving back to Texas at some point. And I was like, I need a job. Yes, I'll go. So I left my kid with her dad for like a week, and I came to Texas. And I found a school for her. I stayed with my mom, went back and got her. And for a year and a half, I commuted from Texas to Lafayette every other weekend. Because he was still in Lafayette.
Whoa.
I know. So, again, me not fighting the universe, it just was what it was. And I knew I needed to work. I knew I needed to get a real job. She was getting older. We needed to get settled. So, you just do what you got to do. Plus, I didn't have a choice.
Huh.
Like, when you have a kid, you don't have options.
Nope.
You just have to make it happen. And I think I just knew that we had to start building a life where we had 2 real incomes and to make sure we weren't struggling. And then that was it. And then he finally came to Houston, and we've been here ever since. So that was it. But did I think I had a plan? Did I think that, this is how it's going to go? Absolutely not. Because I didn't want kids.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the cards. I was supposed to be the aunt that took your kids and hung out and we just took on the weekend and then send them home. That was the plan. That's the only thing that I was certain of. And that didn't go that way. And I was like, oh, okay.
Definitely fits your personality.
Yeah.
Yep. You did.
I definitely teach everybody else's kids horrible things and send them home. That's my job.
Yep.
So,
There's so many shows about people like you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Peyton is scarred sometimes.
Oh,
I've
nice.
definitely taught her how to pour it out for the homies, and she was out there doing that. And her mom was like, what are you doing? It's fine. It's a water bottle. She's good. So, as far as a plan, I did not have a plan. And now that my kid is going to be 18 in December, which is weird.
Yeah, old.
Yeah, we're slowly trying to figure that out. I think we can't wrap our head around
It's
it, but
hard
it
for
is
me to
what it
wrap
is.
my head around it. I'm like, where did the time go? When
We have
did
no
she
idea.
have her?
I
It's so
feel
weird.
like she was just 16. It was like, oh, you turned 16.
I feel like she was just little. Like, I don't remember. I was like, when did this happen?
I have no idea.
She got a car and everything.
She has a car now.
That was nice. That was very nice for y'all. Y'all are those parents.
We're gonna put all that on her father because he felt like she needed it. Which
That's awesome.
just an FYI, she doesn't have a license.
It's still awesome how y'all did that. It's like just to say, just the way you're doing things is the right way to be doing it.
I always tell people we're horrible parents.
Yeah, because she is the girl or the kid.
She is the girl. That is how she is addressed.
She is never
the girl,
called
she is
by
the
her
kid.
name. And this is before the Bird Box movie, huh? Or is this because of the Bird Box movie?
No.
This is way before the Bird Box movie.
I don't think
huh?
I've ever seen that movie.
Oh, you've never?
Wait, what did I watch? Is that the blind one?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, where people
no.
shouldn't
That's
be
A Quiet
looking.
Place. I've seen that. Bird Box is the one with Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
I
Bird
did not
Box
watch
is-
that. But
yes.
she's always been referenced as the kid or the girl. And my friend Kim, who lives in Atlanta, also references her kids as the girl or the boy.
Oh.
So it's just a thing.
That is hilarious.
And when I say it, people find that so weird, and I'm like, "What's so weird about it?" She answers to it. It's fine. It's fine.
I love it. Would you consider yourself still Catholic?
No, but it's weird because I hadn't been to a Catholic church in a really long time, and I went to a Catholic service, and I took my kid with me, and she's never been to a Catholic service.
It's weird. It's different.
And I found myself like, like the call and response thing, and I knew it, and she looked at me, she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "This is what you're supposed to say." She's like, "Why do you know this?" I was like, "Because my whole life, this is where we did Catholic church." Like, so now, no, I don't really consider myself anything but a Christian, and we are actually in the process of trying to find another church anyways, because my kid's over the white people church.
Yeah.
So, but no, not Catholic.
She wanna let your soul
Oh my God.
You want to go to a nice, healthy Black Baptist
She
church?
does. She really wants to be. She's so black. Like, she's just so, like, fight the power.
Whenever she came out with the Thugger Buggers, I was like, wow, that is something else.
She's definitely
Like
just
that.
into the culture of blackness, which I
Yes.
appreciate.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to help her figure that out. And I always say, like, when she gets to college, she's definitely going to be on some fight the power, afro with a pick in her head kind of thing.
I can imagine. I can see that.
I'm
I can
pretty
definitely
sure
see
it's
that.
going to happen.
Yeah. If they don't scare her first.
I don't think she'll get scared by it, but I just don't want her to get into the side of it that becomes like
She's a
this
big
cult
18
kind of
though.
following. Yeah.
Yeah. That is good. Like, so do you think you would still see Jesus at this point in time?
Sure, I've seen him before, and I know y'all make fun of me about this. I did see Jesus in Epcot.
That's the best way for this to start. Epcot Center. Nigga,
First of all, you
we
can
gonna
see
see
Jesus
Mickey Mouse and CC Jesus
anywhere, but I did see Jesus in Epcot. It was a great experience, and I'm so happy it happened to
We was
me.
watching Michael Jackson, right?
No, we were in the golf ball that takes
The
you
big
up.
Yeah.
And I just remember looking up, and everything else is black, and he did the whole hands out thing, and I was like, oh.
I was
And
so
nobody
mad.
else saw it.
I was so mad. I was like, how'd she get to see Jesus? I wanted to see Jesus. You should have tapped me on the shoulder. Like, why did I get to see him?
I will never forget that. It was probably one of the highlights of my life. And every time I say it, people laugh at me, and I'm like, it's not funny.
It's so serious.
It's not funny.
It's not. It's not. Like, I wanted to believe. I was like, what?
But the thing about it
What did
is
he
that
look
was
like?
for me to see.
So-
And it wasn't like, it was the image that I had always known Jesus to be.
Oh, white?
Yes.
Ah.
Kind of like in the Catholic Church where he's got his
Yeah.
hands out.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Wow.
I'm going to Google it and see if anybody else saw it, just in case. I've never done that, but I'm going to try.
Very close to getting me to move out to this motherfucker.
Do it.
Drexton Clemens.
Hey,
man. What's up, dude?
Hey, nothing much, man. Chilling.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. So how long you been out here?
I've been out here. January made 3 years.
Oh,
so
okay.
almost 3.5 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Came up from Atlanta, and it was dope. I've been doing comedy in Atlanta for like 5.5 years,
Oh, okay.
and kind of hit like a wall of like, what do I want to do? Where do I want to
Yeah.
go? And I remember deciding, like, I was like, it's either going to be LA or New York. I'm going to figure
Yeah.
it out. And this comedian, Eva Evans, came down to Atlanta, and she was looking for a place to do comedy. And she was just asking around, like, hey, where are the shows? Where are the shows? And, like, a lot of the male comics were like, I'll tell you where you can do a show. You can do it at my house, you know what I'm saying? And I was so gung-ho about, like, moving to one of the two where I was like, yeah, here are all the shows. That's where they at. Look,
Right.
how's New York? I want to know what
Yeah.
New York is like. And she was like, yo, you're the only guy down here who hasn't, like, tried to hit on me. How about I book you for my show in New York?
Ooh, there you go.
So that October, flew up to New York. I was up here for a day and a half. I saw the sights. I walked the bridge. I went to Harlem. I didn't
Yeah.
even get an Airbnb. I just stayed up all night, just going to places. And I was like, I'm going to move here. And 2 months later, I was here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I wouldn't be watching these specials and necessarily laughing. I'd be like, how is he doing this?
Yeah.
It was like magic to me.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, is it the crowd work? Is it the facial expressions? Is it the timing? Is it the written? Is it, the act out? Whatever. And so I would just start looking at comics and being like, that guy figured this out.
Mm-hmm.
This guy figured that out. Like, Patrice figured out crowd work. Like, he already has the bits ready.
Yeah.
But the crowd work was so on point that he brought you into his trap on your own.
Yeah.
Where a lot of comics, I feel like if he were to do his bits and just be like, this is how I feel, you'd be like, ow. But if he were to but the way he does it.
That at all.
Right, like, ow, why would you say that? But like, be like, hey, y'all ever feel this way?
Right.
It's just something small. So tell me if you. I would never feel that way. Oh, you never feel that way. Well, what if this was the situation? Of course I feel that way. Exactly. So I'm right. Boom. And then he was just jumping.
Yeah.
So it was like he knew how to, or like Kyle Kinane knows how to tell a story. Or,
he's such a good storyteller.
Yeah, and I would just look at different, like, I love how Roy Wood Jr. is really good at breaking things down into analogies and things like that. And so what I would do is I just love to study it, and in high school I ended up being a manager at a pizza restaurant. But in working my way up to management, I had to work the phone lines, and so I was front desk and phone lines. And if you want to hear crazy shit, work the phones, work the front desk. People come in with wild requests. People come in saying like on the phone, nah, fuck them kids. Hold on, yeah, let me go ahead and get it. You're like, what? So I would come to school the next day with stories of stuff that was happening at work. And then and people were like, yo, that's funny. And I would come back the next day, and instead of like 4 people, it'd be like 10 people being like, yo, tell that story from yesterday. I'd be like, all right. And I would come back the next day at lunch, and it'd be 2 tables full of people being like, tell that story from 2 days ago. I'd be like, 2 days ago? I got a new story. They'd be like, this nigga got a new story. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it was like I subconsciously figured out, like, from what I was learning as a kid, figured out like how to craft stories and like how to craft jokes and stuff. And so after high school, I hopped on stage for the first time September 2012, and I've been doing it ever since.
Oh shit, because you're a 93 baby. I forgot. I was like, after high school, yeah, because I look at you and I'm like, you about around my age. I forget. I'm 36. You're not that age. You're still in your 20s. But yeah, that's because me growing up, I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought I was bad. Like my parents was like, you're a terrible child. You need to calm down and shut the fuck up. And it's like, oh, okay, But I couldn't. I just like, well, this is how people like me for some reason, and I have interesting stories to tell people, made up or not. It's just how I always had a crafty mind, and like if certain situations happen, let's see the best lie that sounds really true that I can give somebody, and just go with that and see how long I can go with it for. I told this dude that I was a twin for 2.5 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we go to the same school and everything.
That's just so funny.
Like, eventually I just had to tell him, because he would come up to me and he'd be like, "Hey man, which one are you?" And because we had our name tags and shit out of school, and our little ID cards. And I was like, you gotta guess. And he was like, oh, you such and such. I'm like, oh, good guess, man. I was like, I don't know how you're not getting this. But I think at that point when I was going to school, I switched from glasses to contacts, so I could switch from having glasses to wearing contacts and shit. And
the guy that made me who I am today, my father, Kevin Smith.
Hello, everybody. You can't blame me for everything. I try.
Yeah.
To me, it's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
Your grandmother, my mother is 86 years old, and I'm 63. And I look at that and the way I look at it as, let's see, my dad died at 85. She's still 86. I figure I got at least 20 more years to go.
20. Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep on dreaming until that day comes where I'm in some place that I've been dreaming about being since I was a kid. May not be here, but it'll be someplace I've always wanted to be. But until then, I'll be on this earth, still chasing my dreams. So
there you go. Well, what was your dream to begin with?
My when I was younger, my original dream was to be a real estate entrepreneur. And, you know, I'm still chasing that dream. I'm still out there trying to make that happen. But like I said, I'm looking and I figure I got at least 20 more years to make that happen. I always think about Colonel Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken, who started his empire out of the back of a station wagon selling chicken at 60 years old.
Really? Is that how that started?
That's how it started.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, that's one of the things that keeps my dream alive. I figured, hey, if it takes me another 20 years, I figure I've at least got 20 more years to live anyway. So I'm gonna keep at it. Keep at it till I can no longer think or do for myself, or until I make it.
Right. Well, in my eyes, it's always seemed like I've known that you've always wanted to draw, and that was one of the things. But drawing aside, in my mind, it seems like y'all always have made it, because I've never had to live a life of you know. It wasn't a terrible upbringing. It was always I've mentioned to Rosalind yesterday that we've always lived in a 2-story house. You know, there was never any point to where I could remember. Well, no.
Well, making it is what you make of it. Okay, living in a 2-story house, you know, in suburbs, you know, always having food to eat and clothes on your back, and you know, going to like private schools or something like that. And it was always a sacrifice. So even though it seemed like we were always doing great, we went on vacations. We made sure we took y'all with us.
Every year we always had a vacation.
Yeah, and as I look back at it, it's like, every year is further and further in debt. Didn't always have the cash to go on those vacations, but we always wanted y'all to see things and do things and have a somewhat good life. You know?
Yeah.
But we always wanted y'all to do better than us. So that was still one of our wishes and dreams, is that y'all always do better. That's why we always encourage y'all to do better.
Yeah.
To do good. I guess Marilyn and I were talking. It was like, man, we wish we would have understood what you were thinking about when you were coming up or a teenager, because being out in front of people or being a comic or an actor, we just did not see it.
Didn't see that at all. No.
We had no idea.
I had no direction either, so I didn't know what I wanted. I just understood that I knew that school wasn't for me. I was like, I can't keep still. I don't want to be quiet. I have to say things, and I want to be in front of people somehow. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what that was leading to until like it all came together once I got out, and I was like, oh. But then now being this person I am now, I see it more, and I'm like, oh, so okay, this was my destiny, kind of, sort of. I was supposed to be this person here, but back then, you know, you don't have that type of structure or guidance, because it really wasn't seen as that back then.
It was just a cut up in school.
Yeah.
Being a teenage boy, just cutting up in school.
Had no idea.
Crazy stuff. And now, you know, we look back at it, and some of this stuff makes good jokes.
Yeah, very much so.
Very much so.
Very much so. And it helps me excel compared to other people, because, I mean, people can actually relate to it as well. And now that being older and seeing my upbringing, like, I have more discipline on my actions now. So it's not that I'm not all over the place with it. I can kind of hone it in. Like it's a special attribute that I have, that whenever I need to be silly, I can be silly, but I also can be serious at times too, because, you're an adult now. Not everything can always be silly.
Well, I'm sure you've been through some things in your life growing up to this point that gives you variety.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's lots of suburb jokes you can come up with.
Yeah. There's things that there was certain things that we used to do around. Every time y'all would get the newsletter in the suburbs, and they was talking about we were staying in Tall Timbers, and they had the disturbances and how the disturbances used to how they would go up. You would have more cases of disturbances. Yeah, that was me and my friend. We would go out and disturb the neighborhood because we had nothing else to do.
It's funny how you
don't
find out about them things until you're adults and you figure, well, he can't spank me now.
Yeah. We older now. I'm gonna punish myself. No TV. I don't watch TV anyway. It doesn't matter now. So
you're lucky. You could probably outrun me, dude.
Yeah. Well, if these knees keep up, it's all getting up there nowadays. If I can get that first step off without that knee going out, then I'll be all right. But if not, you'll probably be right there behind me.
Every 10 feet, I got to take a breath. Every 10 seconds, you'll get a step on.
Yeah, it was a wild upbringing. I'm glad that I didn't have to go through such turmoil besides, being a disobedient adolescent, which is, of course, that comes with the craziness that I am still in myself, I guess. But I realized that it wasn't like that we were really privileged because, like yesterday before yesterday, so I was talking to my sister Rosalind. She, because they had a discussion about how they were bougie, how we were bougie, because we stayed on the West Bank, and Claude apparently stayed in the East. And he was like, "Y'all stayed close to Eastover. Y'all stayed close to English Turn." Yeah, and it's like, man, but English Turn ain't nothing. It's just the house. It's a bigger gated community. That's all it is. And Lil Wayne and them might have stayed in there or whatnot, but it ain't expensive. It's just English. It's just another area. And I was like, yeah, we wasn't. I mean, we not bougie, but then I realized that. You remember Leo? You remember Leo? Yeah. Well, Leo stayed in the Fisher. And the Fisher, for everybody that doesn't know, is the projects. They're not there no more. Well, they're there, but they're not. I don't think it's the Fisher anymore. They're not really project. They fixed them up, but it's still an area that's like, oh, you got to watch out. But the first time I really seen like poverty, like when a friend. Well, I was like, oh, you not living well off. Like when I actually went to spend the night by Leo's house, and basically, they took a bath in the same water, and he was just like, man, hurry up and get in there, so the water don't get cold on you. I'm like, you know what? We bathed on the daily at my place, so I don't know about this situation here, but apparently that I guess the water bill is high. I'm not sure. I don't know why y'all have to live this way, but you know what? I'm not gonna stoop to this level today, and I'm sorry that you have to feel like that, but. It was wild to see. It was something crazy to see because they all stayed in one. They slept in one room, basically. Like the younger siblings slept in one room. The other ones they slept outside. I mean, they slept in the front room on a sofa bed, and their mama had their own room. And it was a good amount of people in there. And I was like, wow, this is very uncomfortable. It gives a reason why you always smell like Afro Sheen, And I was just like, wow, you can't wash your clothes every day, and you only have one shirt. I never understood how good I had it until I seen that side of it. I was like, oh, it can get worse than this. I'm glad I was fortunate enough to not be able to have to live that way. But yeah, people. I mean, it's rough out there.
Did you see that at the time? That you were fortunate.
Yeah. Oh, especially when I saw that.
Did it affect you any?
No, it did not. It did not at all. I was just like, ooh, apparently your parents ain't doing what my parents doing. My parents stuck to it. I guess that's what that is. Like, I've always wondered, like, that's a reason why I talk about taxes, because I never had taxes. I never knew what tax returns were until, like, I got older as an adult. Like, I always thought that was just like a second Christmas, because whenever we stayed on Shannon and the new year came around and everybody got new bikes after Christmas, I was like, how you getting a new bike, man? Christmas is gone already. He was like, man, it's tax season. I was like, what is that? I don't know nothing about tax season. Like, how you getting new things during tax season? When did this holiday come about, and how come my parents don't know? And so it was... getting older, you realize, oh, if your parents in a different tax bracket, they don't get money back. So it was like, oh, it made sense. It made sense. Like, the first time I actually got taxes back, I was like, oh, this is how you get bikes and extra toys during tax season. I get it. You know, but that's when you get older, you realize these things. And
yeah, it's not until you get older and mature enough to look back and go, oh, man, that was stupid.
Yeah. It's fun, though. It's fun to look back at it now, being like, oh, man, I almost died. That is, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is,
oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I look back and go, yeah, I wasn't that great either. I did some things and wondered how I got home that night. Woke up the next morning. It's like, how did the car get there? And where was I last night? Okay, call your buddy and go, do you remember anything? No, I don't remember nothing, man. I don't know. So we're going to do better at this. Okay, next time. All right.
Did you ever drink at a young age?
Yeah, I think I was talking about how I got home one night.
Oh, okay. That's because in my head,
my daddy don't drink.
Yeah. I just thought that you just started drinking like first time ever in life, which was like a few years ago.
No, when I was a teenager, yeah, that's how I got my nickname.
What?
You don't know what my nickname is.
No.
Yeah, ask my friends what their nickname is.
Huh.
My nickname is Chewy.
Chewy.
Like the Cheetos Cheese Puffs.
I remember you had that nickname when in the Air Force they call you Mr. Cheese. I guess they wasn't supposed to, but they call you Mr. Cheese because you've always was like the boss over people. Like you was.
Yeah, well, not always, but I got there. Yeah.
Every time. See, this is the misconceptions I've had of my father. I've always thought he was on top of everything.
Well, once I was your father, yes, I was always on top of things. I never drank while I was your father in front of you. No, but when I was a teenager, me and my partners and some friends went out and got pissy drunk, and we stopped at one of the places over by your grandmother's house. There was a place called the Ice House. If anybody knows what the Ice House was from way back there, that's where you got alcohol.
Oh.
It was basically like a little general store, and they said, I don't remember. They said I walked in the store, grabbed a big old bag of Cheetos because I love Cheetos.
Yeah, I love Cheetos as well.
And just walked out the store with it.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody paid for it afterwards. All I know is they said I ain't steal that. I have to pay it for that. Did you have money in your pocket? I ain't steal that. Y'all lying. Well, after I sat there and we were riding around drinking, and I ate up the whole bag of Cheetos, I sat down in front of my friend's house and just threw it all up.
Oh.
So from then on, everybody called me Cheewees.
Wasn't
cheese that goes blah.
Oh.
So ever since I was Chewy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Kiwi.
Yeah, Kiwi.
Yeah.
So I think I would say that was the last time.
That actor guy himself, Mr. New Orleans, fucking Martin Batts Bradford.
What's up, my dude?
What's happening, man?
Hey, man.
Oh shit!
I like that little intro. You be talking. You talk about smooth like
yeah.
back. Like that was buttery, baby.
Bringing it in there, yeah. Makes everybody feel comfortable when I come on in.
I'm here. I'm comfy.
That's nice. That's
That's how you get the boxes off. I got you.
I see you. How you been, dude?
I mean, I'm acting. I'm
well, more than just that, but that has been your passion since a youngin', huh?
Man, since like kindergarten, bro.
Really?
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like the only thing that I wanted to do. I mean, even I grew up with my grandparents, and they was even saying even before that, it was one of those things of, you know, you get in those little school plays and you get in those, especially the church plays. And, you know, I often say church is like the best place to groom an artist because they can't boo you.
Right, right.
You heard me? So it's like I always wanted to do it. And then as we got older, we from the generation of like Keenan and Kel and all that. So you seeing kids that's not that much older than you. You heard me? Like doing it. So it was always the bug. It's just about how to, you know, put it together and make it happen.
Okay, so at what age did you realize like, yeah, this is the thing. This is the passion. This is the dream. I'm going.
6.
I'm
telling you, kindergarten, dog. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like that was it. And I would like even through even through elementary, I'd be writing my own little scripts, making my own comic books. I used to have this little thing where like if I saw a movie, I would always like make a comic book sequel of my own to it. How I would make the movie. Like in 4th grade, elementary, let me like direct the play because like. Whenever I had free time, I always wanted to like make these little skits or these riffs off something I might have saw on Nickelodeon or something. And after a while, the teachers was like, let's get behind them on that. So they let me direct a Christmas play at like 4th, 5th grade, G. Like it was always the mission, always.
Yeah, that's dope. Like, so how old are you now?
35.
You're 35. Oh, okay, yeah. So you're younger than me. So boom, the 90s was your shit.
Yeah,
the 90s. The 90s was the 90s
kids,
inspired a whole lot of our generation. Definitely. To like actually be dreamers and actually, you know, inspired for something besides just working a 9 to 5. You know, what was the last job you had? Real job you had. What you doing now?
Well, like right now, my day job, I'm a part-time arts teacher, so I teach kids acting for like 4 hours out the day.
Oh, okay.
And that's just to keep me afoot, because I've been blessed enough that some of these TV and film projects have given me a little room to be able to like not have to have the full-time 9 to 5 situation. Because what would happen is
nice.
like really after I graduated college, man, this old head artist told me early. He was like, man, like, if you want to make a living as an artist, you're going to have to like string together these gigs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a normal 9 to 5, if you start booking something, if you want to do your own thing, that's going to be an issue. And I learned that I had to quit so many jobs for auditions or for a gig. So he put me on like the teaching artist thing where they'll put you in different schools, you teach your art. And if you ever have to take off, they'll send a substitute to handle you lightweight. Feel me? Something else he put me on was like I was reading, I stopped doing this like right before COVID because of COVID, but I was reading like stories to kids in libraries and they pay you like hefty money just to come once a week, read the books to the kids and discuss it with them. And it's like 2 hours out your day. You hear me? So it's like, as an artist in the city, I just started finding these gigs that fit my template a bit to just survive until other things popped up.
That's that New Orleans hustle mentality. Niggas down here can't help but to hustle.
Man, you got to.
Shit, that's what it's always been. And it's so crazy because like you got it down. It seems like you got it down to not necessarily to a science, but you got it down pat to where you are actually living out your dream at this moment. Like you're actually doing your thing. Cause nigga, I'm still at this 9 to 5 shit. Just scared to leave. Just, you know, cause there's so much other else that's banking on me being able to make this amount of money and being like, oh, I'm still gonna be comfortable where I'm staying at, instead of being like, nigga, just take that leap. And I've taken that leap many times, but now it's to the point where it's just like, you keep taking this leap and see where it's gonna go. Like I said, I've been doing, you know, shows and shit every here and there. But it ain't like, you know, it's consistently coming, and it's not like it's paying the big bills, because, you know, now I'm an adult. So I gotta stiff out to these big bills that's coming in, and it's like shit. This dream's not catching up to this accumulation of bills that's coming. So
that's why I stopped looking at it like a dream, bro. It's a journey, G.
Yeah.
it's a full-blown journey because, like, man, I remember when I first started, man, one of my closest partners in the industry, he was telling me because, you know, I mean, as an artist, it's gonna always be the peaks and the valleys, man, and you know that there's times where it's completely flat broke, you feel me, and don't know which way to look up, and then you have your peaks where it's like, all right, I ain't doing too bad, and what was crazy, like people that's not artists, they don't get, like, we don't have a map. We just have a passion for it.
Yeah,
so it's like we gonna keep going even if it makes no sense. But then you got to get the reality of like, fuck, though, I still got to eat.
Yeah,
I still need
right,
lights.
exactly.
So like, and there's no code that's been cracked to that because sometimes I just look up and wonder, how am I still doing this?
Yeah,
you hear me?
Yeah,
but it's always like something comes through. I can't even always explain
What keeps you going, son? What keeps you motivated to just stay on this path?
I mean, I never looked at a plan B. Like, I think that's what it was. This was always it. And since this was always it was just, you got to make it work. And it's often been hard. It's been hard on my relationships. It's been hard on my own sanity. It's been hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, right this instant, like, it's so funny of, like, right now, as far as career stuff, like right now I'm working on this TV series with Craig Robinson. I'm in like 3 episodes of this joint called Killing It that's gonna be on Peacock. And like
shout out Peacock, shout out Craig
Peacock
Robinson.
Network and like
book tour right now. Decided to come through and stop by and say hey, cause she's important. Kelly Stone. What's up, Kelly?
Hey.
Hi.
It has been a long time.
Way too long.
Yeah, it was. You were on your way to LA, I think.
Yes. The last time I spoke, the last time I seen you, I think.
Yeah, we floated the river.
Yes, it was very cold. That river was really cold. He was like, it feels good. It did not.
72 degrees.
72 degrees is way too cold. Way too cold still.
They say that about a lot of women, and my mom even calls it 40-itis. Like,
I like that.
So I've got my glasses. Mm-hmm. I've got, hydrocortisone cream.
Okay.
In case of bugs.
Definitely.
Getting bit up and stuff.
You're going to different places that you're going to be going to, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Summertime? Yeah. Bugs going to be out.
And I'll tell you this was a last minute scramble when I was like throwing shit in my car.
Right. For the 20-day pack that you...
Period panties. I realized I'm gone so long, I'm going to have a full cycle. Like...
Okay, so you have the organic kind, or what do you?
What do you mean organic kind?
The reusable, rewashable.
Well, so panty, like actual. Do you know about these things? Like you could just bleed straight into them.
Yeah. The person that sleeps in my bed has those.
Well, so they're washable. Yeah. So
how do you? Are you just hip to this, or this is what you've always had?
No, I mean things didn't exist when I started menstruating, right? Like it was like, here's a pad. And my mom even because I was an athlete and I realized I needed to use tampons, but my mom didn't teach me or tell me how. And so I thought that the applicator was the tampon. Like I didn't know.
My goodness, so many people. I've heard this story from so many people because the parents don't teach, and I have no idea.
Well, and my mom, because she didn't use them, and so I think maybe she didn't really know. I mean, I don't know, but it was interesting the way that communication and conversations go too. Like when you leave out words, or like you think one thing and the other person think, and you have a conversation.
More than one way to skin a cat.
I was wearing the applicator pointing down in my panties and kind of waddling around because I thought that that's the whole thing. And so clearly the cotton was covered and so it wasn't absorbing. And so then later my mom was like, so what'd you think of using the tampon? And I was like, it wasn't very absorbent. And she said, I agree. But we never discussed
y'all are agreeing on
this applicator that I was waddling around with. And so I remember sitting in gym class and finally reading the instruction
you didn't read the instructions?
sheets. Why do you read don't you feel intuitive?
Yeah,
when I see a banana, I don't go what do I do with this banana?
Bananas do not come with instructions.
Bananas don't come with instructions? They do. You're supposed to peel from the bottom.
Yes.
Now, you know I'm a sex educator, right? So if you want to go through condom instructions,
this is the
it's like one of my favorite subjects.
I
do. I blow them up over my head. Have you ever seen this, Kyle's brother? No.
You don't need a Magnum. You can take a regular lifestyle.
Put it over your head.
I seen, because I used to watch the little thing that used to come on TV with
Real Sex? HBO?
It wasn't real sex. It was like an educational type thing.
Was it Sue Johansson? Like the old lady?
But she had younger people that would be like out on the street, and she would ask the people a question and be like, oh, well, I don't like them because they're too tight.
Yeah.
And then this lady went around and she put a condom over a fire hydrant, and then she put it on this big muscular dude's head. Right here to his nose,
and then blow it up with the nose air. Yeah.
Like, oh, so everyone is lying.
Everyone's lying.
So the thing is, though, the reason, like, people can find them uncomfortable, right? So lube, if you put lube on first and then the condom and then more lube, and that's like one of the techniques like health educators teach, because it'll increase the usage because it feels better. Like, you'll use something if it feels better and it keeps you safe, right? Safer. So like when HIV, like when we still didn't know a lot about it, but we, with the cluster studies, and you knew like where spread, like transmission was occurring, right? Yeah. And so there was a health education campaign that happened in San Francisco, like near this one bathhouse where it was spreading pretty rampantly. And all they did was use lube first, then the condom, then more lube, and rates went down and condom usage went up.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is, and these are just normal condoms. These ain't even the rib for your pleasure type of condoms.
The ribbing,
I don't understand
and
that
then
either.
These different like tingling
the
ones.
tingling ones.
I'm not into. I
that,
do not.
If
I want to tingle
not ready,
naturally, and not because you put some Vicks up on me. You
if
know what I mean?
If the person ain't ready, it'll
it's like
fuck
Vicks
somebody
vapor
up.
rub on my clit. You know what?
It'll definitely fuck somebody up.
Oh my God!
I've had somebody put Novocaine. The little, I guess it's whatever.
Novocaine?
Whatever. No, I had there was a lube that I had that had lidocaine in it. And
did it get in your pee hole? Did it burn?
It did not. But after a while, my dick stopped working. It didn't want to do anything anymore. And I'm like, what's going on? And then like I also had it in my mouth, and I was like, I forgot. And so, like, I was like, why?
Wait,
like,
you had your dick in your mouth?
No,
I know.
That'd be very interesting if that was the case.
I had it in my mouth.
Let's get some lidocaine and see if I can suck myself off. Yes.
Maintain.
Yeah.
A lube it wasn't really a lube. It was like a cream.
Oh my gosh.
And it would take all of the sensation off.
Why would you do that?
Just so you could last longer?
Oh, that doesn't sound very fun.
It's no.
Well, and I mean, for either person, it just sounds like a lot of work. Like, it sounds like a UTI. Like,
after a while, things get a little hairy. It's like, all right, I can't feel nothing. And
that just sounds unfun.
Feels like I just came from the dentist for some reason, because I totally forgot that I probably shouldn't put my mouth down here since I put this on.
Yeah, so I read the instructions on the tampon.
And finally, it told you.
Yeah, it was like you put your thumb and your forefinger, you hold the ribbed part, and then you press the thing. And I remember that aha when I was like, it's an applicator.
Did it have a picture on it to show you?
It does.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so so that was like, so then basically always tampons. Like the only time I went to pads again was like if I'd had like some sort of procedure where I wasn't allowed to have something inside, right? And childbirth, right? And afterward, and you got to have like those big overnight pads, right? For a while.
I didn't know.
It's a big open wound. Like you push a human out and then you just like bleed, and like blinking hurts your vagina. Like it's like real horrible. And then while that's happening and your like cooter is like throbbing and pulsating, then you're trying to like put this like life-sucking force on your tits and trying to figure out how to make them work like that.
Life, okay.
It sucks. Yeah. And some people are like, isn't it beautiful? Yeah. But then I evolved to the cup.
The Diva Cup?
Well, I went through the soft cup on my way to Diva Cup. The soft cup, no, the sponge is contraception. It's not for menstruation. So it's a spermicidal sponge. So you like get it wet, foam it up, and then it activates the spermicide. And then, you know, like that's what Elaine on Seinfeld, like the sponge worthy, that was like just contraception. Yeah, you definitely don't use that for your period. But the soft cup is like a disposable menstrual cup. And I met them at a conference. And so then
the people that make them?
Or like one of their reps, you know, like sales, right? And so then they would do, like, I would have these like sample containers available in my office because I was a health educator out on the college campus. And so like in my office, I would have samples of soft cups that I could just give to students. So then there were plenty of samples for me to try. And it was like a 3-month learning curve. Oh my God, I had so many accidents.
Oh, how is it supposed to work? Is it just supposed to be like I've seen the rubber kind of Diva Cups doing it.
They're like long, right? They're like this shape. Like
yeah.
Yeah, and then the soft cups are more disc-like. They look almost like if you've ever seen a diaphragm.
Yeah.
So they're like more of a flatter, like a hard round. And they stay inside. So like technically you should be able to still have penetrative sex and it'll block like the blood or like, so it's like tidier.
Tidier. Nice.
Like if you're, I don't know. But so it hooks onto your cervix and it creates kind of like a suction. And blocks right there. And so then you have to pull it out like parallel to the floor because if you pull it down, you're just pulling all the blood into your hand. Right?
Oh, right.
So if you pull it out parallel, then you can like dump.
Does it bubble up as the blood comes down there? Like how does the blood not leak out since it's just like
it
suctions?
Fills up.
So
like, it fills up like a little sack.
Yeah.
Like
so does it bubble? Do you feel that it?
Sometimes, like if it loosens or it detaches, that's what I would find was like if I was sitting at the desk for a long time, like typing, like doing stuff, computer work, and then I'd have to go to the bathroom. The standing up act would like kind of dislodge it a little bit, and I'd be like, shh, and because I mean, depending on how full it was, just a little blip will
and then the blood
fill your pants right up. You know what I mean? And then you're like, damn. But then I finally got it figured out, and then like loved them, like because and then
so those are the route to take.
Well, I don't know. Everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
Like, you know, everybody's different. But then I eventually got the Diva Cup, and this is where I first learned when I saw them. They were on sale, which is what enticed me because they're like $40, but they were like $25 at CVS. And so I saw this sign and I was like, ooh, Diva Cup. Like I would like, because instead of the disposable, then this is like a fully reusable one. And then you just boil it like to cleanse it or sterilize it or whatever, right? And I saw that there are 2 sizes. Did you know there's 2 sizes of Diva Cup?
I didn't know they came in sizes.
I didn't either. And I was like,
one thing.
There's size 1 and there's size 2. So size 1 is under 30.
Oh, okay. Age.
Or never had children.
Oh.
And then size 2 is over 30 or had children. And so like that's when I was like, see.
But had children like through like what about if they have cesarean?
Well, so babies? I still think the process would expand the cervix. Like I still think that there's cervical opening because then it's like you only dilated this much or like there's reasons. Cesarean is like one of the most overperformed procedures in the United States. That and hysterectomy. So essentially like we just are like women parts, let's just chop them up. Just fucking, it's fine. You know what's easier for me, the male doctor? You lying on your back with your feet in stirrups. Like, that's not even a natural way to try to push a kid out. Like, do you shit like that?
You don't. You should shit.
You squat.
Yeah.
You sit. It's a more gravity.
Yeah. That's. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just grab a tree.
Kind of like Agra.
It makes sense.
Grab a tree.
That's why they're head down. Like there's all of it makes sense. Like laying on your back like that. Now maybe on your side. Anyway, you should be able to move.
Man,
there's
it
so
sounds
many.
so fucked up now when you think it's like, oh, they do just.
But through all of that process, the cervix, like the Oz, which is the opening to the cervix, like starts to expand. And that's why they talk about dilation, is like that's the part that's opening. And then effacement is the thinning out of the tissue. So effacement is thinning and dilation is opening.
We learned something today.
You know I'm an educator.
Yeah, I know. You know I have no kids, so I know nothing about any of this.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry. Like I am on a book tour about like.
About your kids.
Well,
quotes from your kids.
Yeah.
But they're your kids.
They are my kids.
Yeah.
So it does tell a story.
Yeah.
That's what my therapist said when she read the book.